Hi guys, my name's Tom and welcome back to Motorsport Manager for the Underdog challenge. Two things before I get going. Firstly, I'm sorry that there has been a big gap between the first episode and this episode. Being in retail, it's very difficult this time of year because Christmas is starting to roll out and I'm just get tired very easily. But I'm going to try and get this week 3 episodes out, and if I can do that, then I'll be a happy boy all day long. And secondly, I had a problem because I did record round 2 and round 3, but when I finished the recording, because I did it all in one go, it only came up with 5 minutes of recording rather than an hour and 40 minutes. So I had to think about how I'm going to carry on with the series. So I've decided to redo the first race, so you don't have to see it, which it was boring really. No one really retired. So my finishing position from the original save, that I finished 13th and 17th, instead I finished 17th and 19th. So it's not very good, not very good at all. So what we're going to do is carry on from here, and hopefully, fingers crossed, that the recording will save for the length of time that I will get this race done. So the next race is Munich in Germany. That's in 23 days time. We've got a few work in progress for scouting happening, and there's some reliability happening as well. And that's the main part really, just get the car more reliable to get to the finish, and won't be able to make a additional pit stop just to fix like an engine or whatever. So with that in mind, let's carry on and see what will pop up in the emails. Also, the traits have been reset now, so if I go to Santa Anne, her traits this time are grounded, so she's just off to the pub with mechanics, and hates dueling, so her traits impact everything by -1. So that's Santa Anne. Evans though, he struggles with wet weather, so we really need to have a look for a brand new driver to replace him straight away. He does like, and he likes to have a clean track, which doesn't help, and he is a team player, but with the wet weather, and he doesn't like overtaking, and his skills are pretty bad. I will have to look elsewhere and see if I can get a better driver for him. I don't mind paying out the cause to break his contract. I just need a better driver to replace him because he hasn't really got much improvement to go with him anyway. Right then, so we've got emails about two the drivers that I've just scouted. The first one is Axel Dio. He'll be one of the weakest drivers in this series, but he will become one of the better drivers. His strength is his smoothness, but he has issues with adaptability. Feedback is at 10, but he's retiring, so he's not really the best of drivers to look at, especially if he's retiring, so there's no point. The next driver is Verland. Again, he could be one of the better drivers. He's a paid driver. Okay. And there's DRS expert, which his braking and cornerings are much better. But do I want to take a worse driver than what I've got, but get a paid driver so I can get a bit more money? I may think about that. I may think about that indeed. There's another one ready in 10 days just before the race, so we can see then. We can decide then, even though we could just wait a little bit longer. With the car performance, I'm trying to get everything up to about 70-80%. At the minute, everything else is at 80. Brakes are pretty much at 68 and 65, so I'll take those off, and we will update the reliability for the engine and see what we can do with that. Okay, so we've got one day before the race. We've got a few sponsor offers to go through, but first let's have a look at this new driver. Angela will be a low quality driver. Best skill is cornering, but she isn't good at smoothness. Young guns, so her mechanical will go up to 10, and burglary. So she's had a burglary, so the traits are all down. Let's compare with Evans. Overall, should be a much better driver, but marketability isn't the best. This is the problem, really. I can't really get anyone decent. Like at the minute, it was the Italian, wasn't it? No, I've just looked at that. I think it was Bella. Yeah, paid driver. But if we compare, I was on Evans anyway. He's much worse than Evans, so there's no point taking a paid driver if they won't be able to go any improvement anyway. Sponsors. We've got a slot 6 available, so we can go with a £1 million upfront payment, or we can go 350,000 per race over 9 races, which in the long run that's a much better deal anyway. Because you're going to get 700,000 per 2 race, times it by 4, you're going to get 2.8 million, just under 3 million for over 9 races, and it's overtime, so we'll definitely take that. So our money income now is going to be 838,000 per race, which is nice because that is what our aim is, to try and save as much money as we can for next season. Then we do some headquarters upgrades and hopefully be able to get a bit more further going with it. But anyway, we've got the next day, which will be traveling to Munich for round 2. We're gonna go with, again, keep with 16th or above. We were only 1 place off at the target anyway, so we've got a good chance of getting a million, additional million, which isn't bad. Let's go to that 72 and 73. That's brilliant. So we'll take that off and we'll go back to improve this. But for the time being, so yeah, it seems that all the cars are quite equal. We need to try and improve the performance if we can. Yeah, there's performance that we can gain, so we may do that up to the next race's reliability. Actually, let's take that off, and we're improved reliability now. So we're Centre Anne's a better driver. Let's just focus on her. Yeah, that'll be fine. Right then. So with all that sorted, let's get into round 2 of the European Racing Series at Munich, Germany. So we're on the home page. We're going to get Centre Anne and Katie to do setup work. Right, so what we're going to do, we'll always go, because we're at the back, we need to take risks. So we're going to keep it on the soft tyres and just focus on the setup that way. So let's do some adjustments, see what we can get. Right, setup work has been done for the time being, so let's head into practice and we'll see how the drivers feel with the setup changes that I've initially made, and hopefully they'll give us some good feedback. So let's send them out, and we will. I will come back to you once they come back into the pits. Okay, it's starting to rain now, so we'll get them in this lap, so we can change to some inters and see if we can do a bit more running. It will be drying out though near the end of the session, so but we need all the time we can get with these tyres, so or with this car. So, but at the minute we're 16th and 20th for both drivers, about 6 seconds off the pace of the soft tyre. So it's, yeah, it is good, but we need to try and improve that, but we won't really improve it now as the car or the track is wet, and it will remain wet for the end of the session. This is not good though. We've got poor, okay, and great speed. So they were saying that they want a lot more wing angle, so we're gonna give it to them. We're limping the gears a little, and I don't know what way to go with the handling. I'll go that way and see what they say, but we're gonna go with inters. Send them back out on her way. Just waiting now for Katie to come down pit lane, and we will check her setup out. And it's poor, great, and good. So okay, so a bit better setup than the other one. It was 81%. Oh, it was 80%. Okay, so they want more wind. So more wind there. Handling's pretty decent. Yeah, let's try that. I'm gonna go change the inters as well. And hopefully in the last 4 minutes or so, we'll hopefully get something out of this, and hopefully get a much better understanding of the setup. Okay, checker flag is out. Well, I'm not really that surprised that Centre Anne did finish 16th, so not too bad. Speed balance feels a lot better for linears. Perfect gear ratios for Centre Anne. So we've got some really good points as a setup, but there is some really bad points that we still need to improve on. So hopefully we can do that before the race happens. So going into this, it just shows that we are 16th and 20th. Right, so we've got race trim for both of those, which is quite nice. Engine in, no, we're going to actually go with nurse, just so it helps our car condition out a bit more. And we've only got race trim for Evans anyway. So yeah, good setup for Evans. Not really a good setup for Santa Anne, though. I think I went the wrong way with the setup for suspension. They want it a bit stiffer, so let's do that. Bring it back down a little with this. So, done a few minor changes for Santa Anne's setup. Looking at the weather, it looks like it's going to be sunny and the grip. The track grip is going to be increasing, so we'll keep it soft tyres. It's a 43 lap race. I want to do a free swap just so it's a bit easier. So that is going to be around about 11 laps each since. So we'll put 12 laps in. Won't really affect the fuel that much. And 90%, I won't change that because that is pretty decent set. Again, we'll go down to about 12 laps worth of fuel. And hopefully we'll be able to do a good race this time rather than 17th and 19th. But we need to get 16th to get 200,000 bonus. So hopefully we will do very well. So on the grid we'll be starting 2nd and 4th. So hopefully we will get a good result and hopefully keep in the top 16. But as we go to the grid now, as the red lights come up with 4 and 5, lights out and away we go. Evans gets a decent start off the leader of Melrose. Can Evans go round the outside and take first place? I don't think he can. No, we're keeping 2nd and Santa Anne's just lost a place now, but hopefully can get one back. We can only just do that, so that's really good. We're back up to 2nd and 4th, now down to 5th again, make that 6th place, but that's not good. So, okay, so we're still 2nd and we're in 6th place at the minute, so not too bad at the minute. Let's fast forward it now, see what happens at the end of the first lap. We need to bring down the tyres now back to neutral, as they are getting a little bit hot already. We'll keep the fuel going at this pace and hopefully we will see what we can do throughout the race, but it doesn't look good already dropping down the order. So we've already got a problem. Santa Anne has lost her rear wing, but luckily she's coming through at the end of the lap. So hopefully she'll be able to pit and get that repaired straight away. Don't lose that much time. But that's annoying though. We were down in 11th place, so we were losing time, but it's just annoying really. We could just pit her in and hopefully, yeah, well, actually we won't do anything with it. We'll just get that part repaired. We'll do a fast pit stop and hopefully she'll be able to come in and get that repaired and get back out there. There we go. So hopefully we'll just keep on going like this and we will see what we can do. Meanwhile, Evans is now down to 6th place. And he's probably going to be dropping a few more positions, but we need some sort of luck really to try and get Santa Anne back in this race, as she is the main driver for us. Tyres are a little bit cold, so I've just made them push a bit on the tyres and see what we can do with that. Seems Evans though is starting to get away from 7th place now, as I just said, to push the tyres. Santa Anne doing personal best, so in that free air she's able to still do the lap times that we need her to do. While Evans have just been overtaken for 6th place, so he's now down to 7th place and probably very soon to be overtaken from 8th place. Okay, update on the race. We are currently P10 on lap 8 of 43. Santa Anne has gained a few positions because of 2 people colliding with each other, so they've probably lost their front and win, and someone else has got a penalty as well, so we should be able to be ahead of one driver for definite. But a minute, Evans is just holding up this pack of cars right now as we lose 10th place down to 11th place, going to be down to 12th place now. So yeah, we're starting to go down the order now, and a few people are actually starting to come into the pit, so we're going to push these tyres a little bit more. The third pit stop is coming up very soon, but at the minute we're not doing that bad. Hopefully we'll be able to improve as the race goes on, but I don't really see that unless a safety car or something along the lines of that will help us along the way. But again, it'll be very, very tough for us to be able to do that. But the collisions and the penalties did help with us. So on lap 10 now, or later on in the lap, we're about to make our first pit stop. Evans did lock up the tyres quite a bit, so his tyres are quite low. So we'll go back up to about 12 laps of fuel. Park conditions are all pretty decent. We'll risk it for a chocolate biscuit. We'll go with a fast pit stop. We'll bring in Santa Ann this lap as well. Again, we'll load her up for 12 laps worth of fuel. Nothing wrong with parts. We'll go with a fast pit stop as well. So hopefully we'll be able to gain or keep these positions that we have so far. But we are out of sync with Santa Ann. But a lot of people are in the pits right now. Let's have a look at Evans quick. Hopefully he won't have any problems. Can get out in front. Oh, that is just perfect timing. Absolute perfect timing. And the good thing is that Santa Ann is right on the back of 17th place. So that's really good news for us. And we're in 13th place still. So we only lost one position, but there is 4 people yet to pit. I say that 2 of them are now in the pits. But they're well ahead that we won't even be bothering with them. On to lap 14 now, and you could just tell that our car is very poor for parts wise. The guys who've had penalties and drive-through, well, that's the same thing, penalties and drive-throughs. People that have lost bodywork and just get it replaced, they've now caught up to both our drivers. So even when they had to do an extra pit stop or sometimes 2 pit stops, they're still catching up with us. So there's just no chance at all that we're going to get any good positions at the minute. Even though we are going at quite a quick and aggressive strategy right now. We're just dropping down the order like we just did there. We just lost 2 positions, but we're trying to get it back now. I really should push these tyres as they are getting a little bit cold now. So we'll push the tyres a bit. We're in 17th and 19th, probably going to be down to 17th and 20th very soon. The weather at the minute still looks sunny throughout the race, so even the wet weather won't throw a surprise in it, but we're so far away. We're about 6 seconds, or 2 seconds off the pace of 16th place. I say make that for about 4 seconds now. So the gap is just ever increasing now away from that target objective, but luckily we have got some decent sponsors to be able to bring in that money without having to hit the objective. So that's kind of a good thing in a way, but again, it would be nice to get the bonus like initially we did in the first race, but you know, stuff happens. And now Santa Ann is right behind Evans, so we'll tell Evans to let her through. Hopefully he will listen. There we go. And now he's going to hopefully not let 20th by. Okay, so Santa Ann now is ahead of the pack, or ahead of the two teammates, and we'll just give it a quick fast forward and see where we'll be in the next couple of laps time. Okay, so the problem that we're going to have now is that both drivers are very close to each other, so we can't do the same strategy that we did in the first pit stop because we just managed to get both cars in at the same time. So what I'm thinking is to pit Evans now, fuel him up for a little bit longer because we're not going to make it really on the fuel, so we'll put 13 laps in. We'll do a fast pit stop because we need to try and get out in front of 20th place. And hopefully that'll be a decent pit stop, and then we'll be pitting Santa Ann this lap. At the minute she is in 16th place, so we'll go and push with the tyres. That's a problem. Had bad for the fuel. We lost about just under a second there. Still ahead of P20th though, quite a bit ahead of P20th. I wonder why that is. He was right behind us before the pit stop, so I'm quite surprised he's that far back. Anywho, Santa Ann only got a lap's worth of fuel rather, so we've got a pit for another pair of soft tyres. And we're going to go with 12 laps. We're going to go with balance this time. But if we go fast, we're battling. So that we'll go with this and see what happens. We'll see what happens, and if it doesn't go well, it doesn't go well. We'll push with Evans, see what happens. So Santa Ann in the pits. So hopefully be coming out around 18th place if everything goes well. And it goes by. But we've still got a very good pit stop there, so no complaints there. Again, this race is quite uneventful. We've got 19 laps remaining at the race. We've got the whole pack kind of chasing down Evans right now, including the leader and 20th place coming along with him. Again, we're just struggling this race. We're not having any luck. We're not having any retirements happening in the field whatsoever. That was quite a long pit stop there for, who was that? Rogers. He had a very long pit stop, so we gained on him quite a bit now. But again, we're just not... It's not really working for us at the minute. We need people to retire or have problems with mechanical issues to be able to get up the field and be able to get a bit more money in prize money in the season. At the minute, we're not really getting anywhere with it, which is annoying. We can see 17th place with Santa Ann. We can see him, but he's now just going to get away. Even with medium tyres, he's just going to get away from us, which isn't the nicest feeling at all, knowing that you've got the slowest car and the worst car on the grid. You just can't do anything unless you spend money. But I want to save money to improve my headquarters, to then we can make an attack later on in the season, or later on in the upcoming seasons or so. But at the minute, we'll just have to struggle this season. If we get some decent positions, we'll get decent positions, but again, we're not really looking that good at the minute. Well, second off Rogers, and he's on medium tyres, meant to be the slower tyre, but he's got a much better car than us. So again, what can I do? I can't do anything. I'm on the aggressive strategy by doing a free stopper. You know, the possibility of doing like a four stopper maybe could be on the cards for next race, but it all depends on how long the track is and whatnot. Like, we've got decent setups on them. Like Santa Ann, it's on 94% for setup opinion. For Evans, what, on 90%? So it's not like we're getting the setup wrong. It's just the car is that bad, like I keep on saying. And like I said at the first episode, this is gonna be a very long challenge for us, because we need to kind of build our headquarters first and then be able to press on with the upcoming seasons. Again, we have to wait and see, really. We just have to wait and see if any luck comes our way. So the weather is going to be dry for the remaining of the race. We're going to pit Santa Ann this lap anyway, so we're going to push with the tyres, push with the overtake on the fuel, and we're going to go with another pair of soft tyres. It's going to be 10 laps at the end of the race, so we'll go and put in 10.76, get us to the end of the race. We'll do a balanced pit stop because we're not really going to gain anything. Evans, he is quite a far bit behind, so we can pit them both on the same lap. So as he's just gone past the start finish line now, he's going to need, I think, 10 laps as well. Again, balanced pit stop, we're not really going to gain anything, so go back to neutral and high. 16th place is in the pits as well, so there is an advantage. Hopefully you'll have a much longer stop. Oh no, he's already left the pits. Just looking at the wrong bit. But no, at the minute we are currently 18th place. Well, still 18th place rather. Evans is now in the pits. 20th has now passed us, so we're going to be probably 18th and 20th. Oh dear, this has not gone well at all for us. Not gone well at all. Okay, 17th is in the pits and he's just coming out now, so we've got a good gap towards him, but it's going to have fresh soft tyres. So at this rate he will gain on us. All I need now is someone to have a mechanical which will run out of fuel, and then we'll be able to get up to 16th place. But the problem with that is that the leader hasn't lapped 16th place yet, so we need the leader to pit. No, not pit, to be able to lap him, or 16th place have a problem. So speaking of problems, we've got suspension issues for Evans, but as he is a dead last and he has effectively been lapped, or he's 28 seconds away from 19th place, which he won't gain. So we'll pit him now, and we're going to fix all the bits are below 40%, just because it's going to increase the time to be able to improve the parts that we have in the garage, or when we get back to the main menu. So we'll do this and see what will happen. We'll just get everything repaired and just get him to the end of the race, really. My only downside is now that leader hopefully should lap us again, otherwise we won't have enough fuel to get us to the end of the race. That's the only thing that I'm worried about at the minute. The leader should lap us, even though I don't know why I'm thinking to myself, oh, I hope the leader laps us. You know, it'll help our race out because we're a lap short at the minute. Even though I thought I put in enough fuel, it just seems it ain't. But it looks like we are going to get lapped very soon. So that's kind of some good news. Bad news that we're down in 17th place, but you know, crap car. As a thought, leader goes by, so we're now lapped down, so we definitely have enough fuel to get to the end. But we've got 18th place gunning down on us now, so we're going to keep on pushing for the last 2 laps. We'll push with Evans because his tyres are quite cold now, but we need to try and keep the gap now. He's going to get blue flags from the rest of the pack behind, so that's kind of helping us to get away. Someone has run out of fuel, Dembella is 15th place, mechanical issue and fuel. Has the leader passed him? No, he's not, so we won't be able, or are we? If he goes slow enough, we may be able to. Where's 18th place? 18th place is what we actually may get 16th place here. No. Will we? I think we will actually. Where is he? There he is. Come on. Come on. Yes! Final corner of the last lap, we get 16th place. Well, I was not expecting that whatsoever. We want people to run out of fuel, and someone did. I'm very happy with that result. Even though we're 16th and 20th, we still got the objective. So it's looking good for a team perspective, for new sponsors coming in, because we know we can get that objective. So that's always great news that we are getting the objective, and I'm happy that we got 16th place. So we're gonna GMA are now checking the rest of the teams for any rule breakage, and no one did get any rule breakage. Everyone was in the rules, but we did get 16th and 20th, so not bad for Santa Anne. With a pit stop L having to come in early to just change your nose did waste about 20 or 30 seconds, which could change the way that our race could have gone. But again, we still got the objective, but again, we need to look for a replacement for Evans because he's not doing well at all. So improvements all round for the first and second driver. Katie has not improved because she is at her maximum potential. Chairman went up by 6%. Markability still remains the same at 16, and we do get a cool £1 million in the kitty. So going through the results, and yes, that is it. We've got unread messages, so we'll have a look at these very quickly. Car condition is going to take about 27 hours to fit, so we'll continue to the car repair. We've got a new sponsor, but we're going to wait for the next episode for that. And the car repair is complete. So let's have a look at the car at the minute. 5 days, it's going to be after the race to get the performance maximum. I will let that keep on going because that's going to be the best way to be able to do that. But apart from that, guys, that is going to be the end of the episode. Again, I'm going to let this upload, and hopefully you'll be able to give me some comments about what I'm going to ask you to do now. So, we have got the first decision for a rule change. which is going to be an edition of the Beijing Grand Prix, so just a brand new track to the calendar. I want you to give me your advice to say if we should accept the proposal or reject it. So that's going to be the first vote. The other votes in the season we're going to have are different tyres that are going to be not as fast, but they will last a lot longer. Very high merit payments, so a huge difference in prize money awarded to the top to the bottom, and longer practice sessions which will last for 20 minutes. So those are the rules. So you can write down what you want me to vote in that, but I'll keep reminding you an episode beforehand so we can decide on where we want to go with it. But otherwise, thank you for watching, guys. If you did like this, feel free to give this a like. If you are new around here, feel free to subscribe to the channel for more Motorsport Manager, and I will see you all in the next part of the Underdog challenge. My name is Sam. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all later. Take care now.